Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of How to Catch a Fearsome Critter. And today, we're gonna talk about the Tote-Road Shagamaw. Now, Sophie, I actually Googled the word Shagamaw.
Mm-hmm.
All the results are just Tote-Road Shagamaw.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that word means. Do you know what it means?
Well, I hate to disappoint the listeners, but one of the things I like to do with these Fearsome Critter episodes is I check out the cryptid wiki to see what other people are saying about the cryptid. Now, the cryptid wiki currently it's powered by fandom.com, so it's absolutely unnavigable shit that's completely covered in ads.
Okay.
But usually, if you mine to the bottom of that, there's some ridiculous pedantic argument going on. The Tote-Road Shagamaw only has 2 comments, but one of them is shagadelic, baby. To which someone just replies, no.
No, I don't think so.
And if anybody who's listening to this speaks the language of the cryptids or knows what this means, please let me know.
Do they all have their own language now?
I don't know. Well, maybe Shagamaw is like a word in a different language, like Russian or something. And it's like, I just don't know what it means, you know?
You speak Russian.
Yeah, but maybe it's like ancient Russian.
Tote-Road Shagahod, the treading behemoth.
What?
It's a reference to Metal Gear Solid 3. That's got Russians in it.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, I do know what toad and road means.
Yes, Sid, continue.
I do know what toad and road means. Road is the road. And toad is short for totally. So it's a totally road Shagamaw.
Do you know what a Tote-Road is, though?
Is it Frogger?
A Tote-Road is a road that you would use to move supplies between places, like you're toting the supplies along the road. And it's like specifically used with lumber camps. So that's where the whole Tote-Road Shagamaw thing comes from.
We should point out that fearsome critters are not just any random mythical creatures.
They've got standards.
No, they're located in a specific place and time. They're from the early 19th century North American
Yeah, they're the fearsome critters of the lumberwoods.
Yeah, exactly. They're from there.
Yes, they were stories that were, some would say, made up by the lumberjacks in a kind of pre-internet version of trolling. Where they would claim that these things existed to just fuck with people, which is why they're all kind of ridiculous, but Sin has decided that we have to treat them as if they're real and try to catch them.
No, but Sophie, this one is real, because I'm gonna read you an excerpt. Gus Demo of Old Town, Maine, who has hunted and trapped and logged in the Maine woods for 40 years, once came upon what he recognized as tracks of a moose, and after he followed it for a while, he noticed that it switched to tracks of a bear.
Mm-hmm.
And he noticed that these changes took place very specifically every 440 steps. And anyways, he followed these tracks. He came within sight of an animal. Gus saw that it had front feet like a bear's and hind feet like those of a moose.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was pacing carefully, taking exactly a yard at a step. And Sophie, basically what he saw is this creature that was walking upright with his moose legs and then switching to his bear paws.
But you missed out the best part of this story, which is at the very start of it. The lumberjacks are arguing about whether they've seen a bear or a moose, and then they start punching each other.
But Sophie, that's where I was going. I was going to say this man is a national hero because before that, everybody was fighting. Because they're like, I think there's a moose. No, I think there's a bear. Boom, boom, boom. You're telling me I don't know what a moose looks like? But he solved all of the problems of the world because he saw this creature firsthand and he figured it out.
Are you sure, though?
So are you telling me this lie? Are you telling me my phone is lying to me?
Okay, so the impression I unfortunately get from this guy in this situation is he reminds me of people who were verified on Twitter, and they would wade into an argument they didn't really understand and say, okay, the adults are in the room now. Here's the answer.
Okay, but how do you explain him seeing this creature, who is a very distinct creature? He looks like some devil goat or something.
He looks like he should be voiced by Tom Waits. He just has that vibe about him.
Actually, yeah. Are you saying this was Tom Waits?
He does seem like he's just been the same age forever, so he could be immortal.
Hey Google, does Tom Waits have bear paws?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Google says I don't know. Google didn't deny this claim.
Oh, okay.
We're onto something.
I found from search.
Thank you, Google.
Just doing my job.
She's just doing her job.
There was a terrible article that I got sent that was about people putting pronouns in their email signatures is using additional power. That means we're burning extra fuel. That means we're polluting the environment faster. That means people are dying. Ergo, pronouns in email signatures are killing people. How would you compare that to Google saying thank you with a voice synthesizer?
Good thing I don't use pronouns.
No.
Oh my god, Sophie, did you know that in French, they don't have a word for bon appétit?
And what is that in English?
You probably didn't see, there's a meme, and I don't know if this is a real thing or somebody joking around. These two guys doing a podcast, and one of them goes, did you know that in French, there's no word for entrepreneur?
What is French for Tote-Road Shagamaw?
Croissant, frog legs. I'm allowed to make fun of my people.
Yeah, because you straddle 3 nationalities.
I know, it's the best.
They'll never cancel you.
Late at night, I think of you. Your vision floods my mind.
One thing I like about Mr. Demo's description of the Shagamaw, right?
Yeah.
Is that he says that after it finishes taking 440 steps, but before it flips itself over, it looks around. Just making sure nobody's watching.
And then you flip over.
And then you flip over.
Oh my god, because its whole point is to make people fight each other.
Oh, okay.
That's why it looks around, nobody saw it flip. Boom, 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 boom.
Maybe it's like the Joker and it's trying to prove that people are inherently evil by making them fight each other.
Does Joker do that?
He puts some people on a boat and there's a bomb, but when you think about it, it doesn't really make that much sense.
The Shagamaw likes to eat things.
Oh, yeah, so this, right. I'm not sure about this. I saw all over the internet people saying that the Shagamaw was eating cotton, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem to be in the original book at all.
No, and I checked 2 books, the 2 sources we usually use, and the second one says his usual beat is along toad roads when he eats mittens, rubbers, cogged boots, and other forgotten or discarded apparel. But they're not saying cotton specifically.
Yeah. Do you think he has grounds to sue?
Defamation?
Yeah. Needs a GoFundMe. I am suing William T. Cox, deceased.
Yeah, there's a William T. Cox and Henry H. Tryon. That's right. Those are my 2 go-to critter books.
Mm-hmm.
They've seen a lot of. Well, I don't know if they've seen them. They've documented a lot of.
Well, that's the
critters.
thing, because William T. Cox directly quotes Gus Demo of Old Town, Maine, who claims to have seen the creature. This other guy seems to be relying on secondhand information.
Yeah. No, I feel like William T. Cox is like the pro of the critters, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, Sophie, also, okay, I made a discovery. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
You know how they do 440...
paces?
Yeah, paces?
What
Okay,
I find
check this
interesting
out.
about this is that it's 440 paces, but also it's got 2 sets of feet.
Mm-hmm.
So do they both have the same length pace? Because you think about, it's got the feet of a moose, and then it's the feet of a bear. Are they proportional to each other?
I think so, because they're upright like this, and then they switch. So I feel like it's got to be very symmetrical, very proportional, you know?
Is it just the feet, or is it the entire limb?
The entire limb.
Okay.
And also, Someone said that the reason it's 440 is because the animal doesn't know how to count past 440 because it's really dumb. But then I'm like, how is that dumb?
Yes, it says in the comments here that it's very intelligent. Yeah, it says here, this is from fandom.com user, fandom user, who says, the Shagamaw is an extremely intelligent creature that learned to count to 440 by observing humans employed as timber cruisers. Do you know why it's 440?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, tell us about it.
So, think 440, right? What do we have in 440? 440. 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay? 440 divided by 8 is...
This isn't the direction I was thinking it was going to go, but continue.
55.
Yep.
55 is 5 and 5. 5 times 5...
Is this going to end with you uncovering the true story of Elden Ring? Because it sounds like it might.
5 times 5 minus 5, Sophie, 20. 440 minus 20 is...
Velka!
But what is your theory about the 440?
Well, because that's how the lumberjacks would mark out the areas they were going to log.
Oh.
Yours is good too.
Thank you.
So the idea is it's watching the lumberjacks mark out the area that they're going to log, and it's just copying what they're doing, but also it feels the need to flip itself upside down every so often. I think that your theory that it's making the lumberjacks fight each other, that sort of makes sense now, because it's like it's a native inhabitant of these woods. Now the lumberjacks are coming and they're logging it, and rather than fighting them directly, it's sowing discord. Yeah. And I looked on Google Earth, and a lot of those trees are still there. So it seems to have done an okay job.
Now, Sophie,
Sin.
now that we know about the psyche of the Tote-Road Shagamaw,
Yep.
how do we catch one?
Well, you'll notice I just mentioned that I've been on Google Earth. So I was thinking, this thing, it lives in the woods. The woods, as I said, are mostly still there. So I don't want to be dealing with this thing on its own turf. So I was thinking about what weaknesses can I exploit in the Tote-Road Shagamaw. And I thought, okay, this thing is half moose, half bear. What does it eat? Because it's going to have to eat something that both moose and bear can eat. Because it must have like the digestive system that's for both of them.
Humans?
No, because moose don't eat humans.
Huh.
Like, let's say it eats a human, like a bear, and then it flips upside down and becomes a moose. Suddenly it can't digest the human anymore.
You're right.
So it must have a digestive system that can handle something that both a moose and a bear can eat. Bears are omnivorous, so that's fine. They'll eat pretty much anything. Moose basically just eat leaves. So we've got to figure out a way of luring the Tote-Road Shagamaw out of the woods with the promise of leaves. And that's when I discovered, Sin, if you'll check the image I sent you on Discord, the Lakeside Convenience and Marina at Rangeley Lake, home of the Tote-Road Shagamaw. So I, of course, looked at the menu of Lakeside Convenience Rangeley, and they have, they have a number of breakfast sandwiches. It's not going to be able to eat these. It doesn't want to eat egg. They do have a lot of gluten-free options. I'm not sure if that's going to apply to it. It's not going to want battered cheese sticks. So I'm scrolling down, and I come to, the salads. That's what it'll want, because it's a pile of leaves. Both halves of the Tote-Road Shagamaw can eat this. How do I use this to my advantage to trap it? Now, Sin, I'm now going to send you a picture I took of the menu of the Rangeley Marina and Convenience Store. Sin, how much does the salad cost?
$4.99.
Yep. How high can the Tote-Road Shagamaw count?
$4.40.
Yeah. We lure the Tote-Road Shagamaw to the Rangeley Convenience and Marina. It's a little hungry. It decides to order the Caesar salad, and they say that'll be $4.99, sir. Doesn't know what to do. Just freezes in fright and confusion. It gives them $4.40. They say you still owe me 59 cents. It doesn't know what to do. And in that moment of confusion, we strike. It's
Beautiful.
What are we doing with them after we catch them? This has never been established. Do we have a zoo? Are we tagging them for conservation purposes?
Is there anything else you'd like to add, Sophie?
No, because there's no argument on the cryptid wiki. Because usually there's some, dozens of comment deep argument about how, well, that doesn't make sense. Oh, wait a second. This doesn't check out. This exploding coffin with feet doesn't seem plausible suddenly.
I guess this one checks out and is 100% legit.
Yeah, I mean, of all of them. I mean, when you think about it, it's just like a thing with hooves and claws. It could just be like an enemy in a video game.
Or it could just be like an animal. Okay, Sophie, wait, what happens if a moose and a bear have a baby? I don't know, maybe this is what happens.
Exactly. It's like the idea that it looks around. As if like the half bear, half moose thing would not have aroused any attention. Watching it do a backflip suddenly. Also, like, if you look at the drawings of it,
Yeah?
it has, like, a humanoid shape to it.
Yeah.
So presumably when it's leaving the bear tracks, it's actually walking on its hands upside down. Wouldn't it keep hitting things? Just, like, bashing its head on tree stumps? Are you familiar with the story of the devil in Devon? There's this town called Devon in England. And in the mid-1800s, like, there was this case where people woke up one morning and they found these hooved sort of footprint marks all over the town.
Mm-hmm.
There was a theory that, like, the devil had visited that night.
Oh, wow.
And left the footprints. Do you think that was the Tote-Road Shagamaw? Do you think that to fuck with people even more, it had horseshoes on the bear paws?
Sophie, do the outro.
That was How to Catch a Fearsome Critter episode. And we talked about the Tote-Road Shagamaw. We figured out how to catch it using a restaurant menu. I looked at that restaurant's website and they basically stopped serving entirely at like 3 p.m. But I don't know if that's correcting for my time. Because it seems to have a dinner menu and I'm very confused. That's the real cryptid.
Well, that's a mystery for another episode. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you, Sam.
And thank you everyone for listening. And if you have a better way to catch that critter, let us know. But I don't think you can top Sophie's plan, honestly. It's solid, bulletproof, and perfect.
Thank you.
Just like Sophie.
Yeah. I'm not joining in with you celebrating me. It feels inappropriate.
Alright, Sophie, and everyone, and Tote-Road Shagamaw, have a good one!
Bye!
Bye!
Shagamaw! 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 Shagamaw!